Welcome to this FME tutorial, where we will learn to use more transformers in order to solve problems. I have previously made 2 beginner tutorials where you learn the basics you need to get starting with FME. So check these out if you are completely new to this software. So my goal for the future tutorials, and this one about FME, is to present a problem I have encountered in my work and then show how I have solved that particular problem. So the purpose of this is that maybe you have a different problem, but one part of my solution to my other problem could be used in your problem. So I'm just trying to show various problems and obstacles you can encounter and one approach to how these can be solved. And through this process, I think there is a lot that we can learn from each other. Before I go through showing my solution to this problem, one thing that would be really nice is that you try to solve it yourself and comment below if you have a solution that is different than mine. This way we can learn from each other. I am not an expert in FME, but I find the program intriguing, so that is why I use it to solve the various problems I encounter in my work. And it would be great to see a different approach to solve the problem so that we all can learn from each other. I work as a water and environmental engineer, so the problem is about wastewater and stormwater piping systems here. The network system is shown here. The red lines are combined sewer pipes, where stormwater and sewage water flows in the same pipe. The green lines are separate pipes, where there is only sewage water, and the black lines are stormwater pipes where stormwater flows. This network has been simulated, so there exist model results regarding flow conditions and water levels in the pipes and manholes of this network model. These model results exist in 2 shapefiles, one point shapefile for the manholes in the model and another line shapefile for the piping part of the network model. The goal is to separate the stormwater part of the network from the combined and separate part. So instead of having one line shapefile for the entire system, our end product will be one line shapefile for the stormwater pipes and another line shapefile for the combined and separate pipes. And we need to have the relevant manholes also separated according to the pipes that are attached to them. So the data determines a lot about how we can solve this problem. And the reason I wanted to make a tutorial about this is because there are 2 levels of difficulties when it comes to separating the network elements based on the attributes the features have. The easiest is separating the pipes. This is because these features have an attribute column which determines the pipe type. That is, if it is a combined, separate, or stormwater pipe. The tricky part comes when we need to separate the manholes. There are no attributes that can help us to directly separate them, so we need to figure out a way to overcome this obstacle. So before I show my solution, I urge you to try to solve it yourself before going on with this tutorial. If you want the dataset I am using here, just let me know and I will provide it to you. So here I am in FME Workbench, and I will import my data like we did in the last video with drag and drop. So here we have the 2 shapefiles, one for the overflow level in the manhole, meaning the water level. So I drag and drop that one in. Everything is read automatically. And I want to use bookmarks here, so I can say import manhole results. And I will do the same for the pipes. Import pipe results. So as I mentioned before, if I run the data for the pipes and inspect the data, we see that there is an attribute that is called, in this case, p-type sub, and it says whether it is combined, separate, or there aren't too many stormwater pipes, but here, if it's a stormwater pipe. And as I also mentioned, the manholes, they don't have any attributes that can help us distinguish between if it's stormwater combined or separate. And that is also that makes sense, because as we saw in our network, some of the stormwater pipes goes into the same manhole as a combined pipe, so it's really not that convenient to have them separated as we do with the pipes. But anyways, since we have the luxury of the attributes for the pipe type in these features, I will just write the tester transformer, and I will connect this to the transformer, and I press on the cogwheel, and we have to do some logic. So we know that the p-type sub is the attribute column, so I will press the 3 dots in the left value, and I will go to FME feature attributes, because this gives me access to the attributes of my data. And I will go and find p-type sub, and I will press OK, or double click it. And now, yeah, I will double click it and then press OK, because now the value is gathered here. And the operator, so I want it to be equal to, and then I can set what it should be. It should be combined. I think we have to put this as a string, but we want to have the combined and separate in the same. So I will have a clause which says or. This means that if this is true or this is true, then these feature will be in the passed section of the tester, and the rest will be in the fail. So I will do the same, choose the p-type sub, double click it, OK, and the same logic, OK. And this one, it needs to be separate. And now we have defined our test. I will press OK. Just run it and view the data to see if everything works. And it didn't work, so this is good. Now we know that since everything failed, probably it's because I put it in a string. I'm maybe confusing it with Python or something. So obviously you shouldn't put it in a string. So I press OK, and now the magnifying glass becomes yellow because something has changed since the previous run. So I press run to this, and now we see clearly that it worked, and we can inspect the data as well. And I know this network, so I know that this looks right. These are the stormwater pipes, and these are the combined and separate pipes. So now we have managed to do this separation. So actually we are done with we can write out the shapefile for the pipes right away. So we can write out the shapefiles for the pipes right away, because it's so easy, because we have the help of the attributes for the pipes. So I will just do that now. So I will add a writer. I want it to be a shapefile as well, and I have to specify the folder. So I go to my results folder, which I created for this purpose, and I choose this folder, and I will say automatic because that gives me the possibility to give the shapefile a name. So I will say combined and separate pipes, and I will press OK, and I will connect the past ones to this, and I can give them some space, and I will actually do the same. Create another writer, and I will call this one stormwater pipes. And I will connect the failed portion of the tester to this writer. And now we can just run the entire workspace and see that we have written them out. And if I go to my results folder, I can see that we are done with the pipes. I can view the data as well to just check that nothing wrong has happened in the translation or in the exporting of the data. So now we are finished with the pipes. We now need to do the separation for the manholes. And here's when it becomes a little bit tricky because we don't have any attributes, as we talked about, to differentiate between the different manholes, or what pipes are attached to them. So, but we can use the spatial relation between the pipes and the manholes. So this is what we will do, and I will start with the combined pipes, combined manholes. So I will start with the manholes that should be according to these pipes. And there is a handy transformer which can filter based on spatial relationships. And that one is called spatial filter. So if I start typing spatial filter, I can choose that one, and it says it filters point, line, area, and text features based on spatial relationships. So I want this one, and the candidate is what you provide, what you want to filter, and obviously the filter is your is what you measure it against based on your spatial condition. We will look at this. So I want to filter the manholes, so I know that this will be my candidate, and the filter entity will be the pipes, but I don't need to take the raw pipes. That will be wrong. I need to take the filtered pipes. So I will take it from the past features of this tester, which we used to separate. And I should use a bookmark and explain everything along the way, but to avoid that this video becomes too long, I won't do it for every step. But here I write separate based on pipe type attribute. Yeah, but you should always do that. But for this purpose, for this tutorial, I won't do it for every step. So now we have placed the candidate and the filter. So I will press on the cogwheel because we need to specify the spatial predicates to test. And this means how should your data be filtered. So if you press the three dots, you get some options. You can also use the values from your features or the attributes that you have access to. But I just want the manholes that intersect with my filter. So the candidate that intersects with the filter. So I hope that makes sense. So I just leave this. I want this one to be checked. So I press OK. And you can give it a name for the attribute that you have that you provide for the spatial filter. but I won't change anything. So I just press OK. And now we can see that all the manholes are read in as the candidate, and we have only the separate and the combined pipes. So if I run this, you can see that we have 22 that passes and 8 that fails. This means that I can take the past ones because I know these will align with my these will align with my combined and separate pipes. So I will create a new writer. I will put it as automatic, give it a name. Combined and separate manholes. I will press OK. Try to group these together. Yeah, now I just use the bookmarks anyway. Combined and separate part here. So I will take the past and put it in here. So if I run this and view the data, these ones are pretty many manholes here, so it's difficult to see straight away, but this is the way to go. And if we look at the failed data, it is tempting to just take the failed here, but we can't actually do that because, as I said previously or earlier, that one manhole might have a combined pipe, a separate pipe, and a stormwater pipe going in and out of the same manhole, or being attached in some way. So we actually can't just take this straight away. So we have to create a new spatial filter that we will base on the separated pipes from the tester. So I will take the failed part and do exactly the same. So I will create a spatial filter again. Take this. And now I want the filter based on the stormwater pipes. And I want every manhole as we did previously. And you can see when it can become quite messy now because we have a lot of lines overlapping each other. So this only makes it more important to have good bookmarks, good annotations, explain every step, try to sort your workflow so it becomes easy to see the lines. I could probably do a better job than what is shown here, but I will continue. And now, as we did earlier, we have the intersect candidate because we only want them that intersects. So if I press run to this, and if we view the data, we see the one problem that I talked about. If you look at the past, which is the ones we will need for our manhole stormwater elements, you can see that we have 9 here. But if we had only used the failed from this spatial filter transformer, we would have missed one because it's 8 here. And that is because of the network where we have stormwater separate and combined, all being attached to one manhole. So this is why we need to do it again with the spatial filter. And now we're basically done. We just create a new writer, give it a name, stormwater manholes, connect the past features from the spatial filter. I should create the bookmark, stormwater. And just for simplicity, I just rerun the entire workspace. And if we look at the folder, you can see that everything is here. We have the combined and separate manholes, combined and separate pipes, stormwater manholes, and the stormwater pipes. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and this was a rather simple problem in a way. So the next one will be much more complicated. So stay tuned for the next video, and take care. I'll see you in the next video.